So the Rebbe is the authority, and the guy who's like in between this world and the next, like he has a vision that we don't have. So he can say it, because we all have the same evidence, you know. You look at history, the war, and then people make predictions based on what's happening. And this is what he says, very intelligent, but he says every generation has a tzaddik, and the tzaddik says Mashiach is coming, and then it moves on. And he didn't explain in depth, and we weren't ready to listen. And the opportunities that we would get to meet intelligent kids like that, and not for them not to feel like they might offend us, and for us not to be antagonistic, that they're not believing and they're giving us doubts, and automatically they're disqualified because they're bad energy, like the New Age people do. When you question their techniques and their New Age religions, they go, oh, you're bad, you're negative energy, you're a skeptic, so it makes it not work. All these magical things that they make claims about juices. So the opportunities were very rare for us to meet the educated type like this from Israel. Very lucky. They're very they're secular, or probably they believed in something. They probably practiced something as a personal thing, not like I would do. Like for someone else, I'll practice anything as long as it's limited, and I know it's for one Shabbos. Okay, let's do this. We'll do Hamaitzi. We'll do everything. But it's secular Jews, but they know a lot about Judaism. And the Rebbe would say how so many kibbutzim, the kids don't know about, but actually they do. They say they don't know the Aleph. They do know the Aleph, they just don't know it's from Hashem. Which that they also know, that people claim that God spoke Hebrew. They know that, just like Muslims think that Allah spoke Arabic. But you know, nevertheless, this is a naive way of thinking and passing it on. It doesn't add up. And so he didn't give us the details, he didn't explain it to us, and we weren't ready to listen. And the opportunity to meet such a guy who is very smooth and nice, and she had a great sense of humor, and she wasn't, you know, making any jokes out of us, and we were dressed, it was summer, we had this hat and jacket, you know, and she just felt comfortable with us, and we both spoke Hebrew, you know. And my assumption is that they were completely the secular educated class, like, you know, from Ramat Aviv or something. And they didn't see us as a threat either, because we're just traveling in Europe, you know. It's not like they're trying to protect the neighborhood from takeover or something like that, where even the nicest people have to protect their things. They can't be nice, you know, they have to protect. So, but he didn't explain to us beautifully like Yeshaya Gafni does when he explains Jewish history. He explains we always had messiahs, but the Chazal, right after Jesus, the Jewish Chazal, were getting rid of prophets and messiahs and magicians, people who give you a special, you know, like imagine Rav Shach would give out like these amulets to people, like a special nickel or something, a lucky penny. There was a Rebbe in New York, in Williamsburg in the 1940s, would give out people lucky pennies. And lots of mafia, Jewish mafia would come, and they would get a blessing. So imagine the big giants in Torah, the Gdolim, would give out these lucky charms. It is Jewish, giving out these things are Jewish. It's just that the Chazal, who, as Yossi Jacobson says, that the Gemara is the masterpiece of Judaism, and the Medrash, those were against all these people giving you stuff that make you feel good but are evidently not true. They're just clay, and it's a piece of copper, and there's no magical energy in it. But the believer believes it because he got it from this guy. Chazal tried to keep Judaism rational and protect it from craziness. So he didn't explain to us that there's two things that Chazal were very clear on protecting the Judaism that they created. There's many types of Judaism. There were Jews into magic. There was mystical Judaism. There was Shabtai Tzvi. They used to read the Zohar all day. It was all their style. Shabtai Tzvi, I think, was a Talmud of the Arizal. He was a product of the Arizal Kabbalah, right? So they were against the Tipuch Rucham Shel Mashachash Vekitzim, those who say that the Ketz is coming soon. They're giving a time. And then there's those who give who identify a person. in the video of on Gimmul Tamuz, the TV anchors say to the viewers, and you don't get any good stuff from television. It's garbage. It's not really, it's just what's going on the streets. Not so informative. And they say the Rebbe never said he's the Mashiach. And then you can have so many Lubavitchers that can show you sikhs that it's clearly he's alluding to it. But most, if you look at the list of Jewish messiahs, most of them never directly claimed and also denied it. From even before Jesus, there was a guy named Joseph or something. There's many of them, different. Then some of them were more crazy than the others, asking people to, one guy had them run in the lake, I think it was in Turkey somewhere, to go towards Jerusalem, and it was catastrophic. And I can't find too much information on that yet, what it was like. But we in Gimmul Tamuz, we had a lot of contact to people on Meftzayim, to the outside world. These were either traditional Jews or Jews who just liked the tradition, but themselves were very secular. We would go and put on tefillin with them. They would give a little tzedakah Friday. So these were people that would ask us questions that would, we had contact with the secular world in a very superficial way. It wasn't like they really said to us, you know, if you ever need help, call us. If you ever feel like you want to commit suicide, or none of that. And because we had contact with such people, so our belief was very weak. And on TV cameras, it seems very delusional, but it's not strong belief. It's not strong faith that is can lead people to suicide. It was like you have Pinson, I think her name's Rachi. She looks in the camera and she's like, the Rambam, and then she like totally forgets it. She heard maybe Butman yelling, the Rambam said Mashiach's going to come and it's going to be like this. By the way, Jewish versions of what happens with the Messiah is very varied. Everybody has different cryptic ways of what's supposed to happen when the anointed one comes. Like, it's going to be magical or not. The Rambam actually says that Mashiach is not about politics. So it's basically, you're not getting a land back. It's not going to be a whole political thing like Trump and